Welcome to the podcast, Dr. Ron Unfiltered, Uncensored, where truth is unmasked and honesty's never censored. With each episode, he dives deep into the fray, bringing knowledge and insights, lighting up our way. No topics off limits, no question too bold. Dr. Ron speaks his mind, the stories unfold. With wit and wisdom, he'll challenge the norm. Dr. Ron Unfiltered, Uncensored, keeping us informed.
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Ron here, host of Dr. Ron Unfiltered, Uncensored. Gratefully, with an attitude of gratitude, bringing you episode 607, which I have titled The Tipping Point, Falls, Dementia, and Polypharmacy. So before we get to that, ladies and gentlemen, I had promised you a podcast on the exercise longevity paradox, but I have been talking with Dr. Wong, and he has agreed to explore these questions with us on a podcast next week. He's a renowned classical naturopath. He's an exercise physiologist. He's an expert in enzymatic and anti-aging therapies, and he has a deep understanding of the human body and its performances. It makes him the perfect person to guide us through the science of exercise and common sense behind using exercise as a tool for vibrant and extended living. So we'll explore that next week, and I think you'll be informed tremendously about what he has to offer. So with an attitude of gratitude, welcome back and hello everyone. As the song says, we look beyond the headlines and dive deep into what really matters for your health. And today we will be exploring a silent epidemic, one that is tipping our seniors into danger, sometimes literally. We're talking about falls, dementia, and the dangerous cocktail of too many medications, and we call that polypharmacy. You might think of a fall as just a misstep, but it could be your first clue that something deeper is going wrong. So without further ado, let's dig in. I'm going to divide this podcast into a few segments. In the first one, we're going to talk about when a fall is more than a fall. So every year, ladies and gentlemen, 1 in 4 Americans over age 65, that's 25%, experience a fall. But listen, what if I told you that fall might be an early warning sign of brain trouble? See, recent studies show that falls often precede a dementia diagnosis by several years. So why, Dr. Ron? Why is that? Well, because early cognitive decline can cause balance issues, slower reaction times, and a poor spatial judgment, all of which increase the risk of falls. Think about it. A person who starts stumbling more often may not just be clumsy. They could be showing signs of mild cognitive impairment, or even the earliest stages of Alzheimer's or Lewy body dementia. A very well-known politician did that for 4 years. Even subtle changes in gait, however, that is, how someone walks, can be a red flag. The brain, especially areas like the frontal cortex and cerebellum, play a crucial role in coordinating movement. If those areas are under attack from neurodegeneration, that means the nervous system degenerating, the body may fall before the mind catches up. I want you just to keep that in mind. And what else could be causing this? Well, let's talk about polypharmacy. We've talked about that in the past. It's a massive contributor to both falls and cognitive decline. Polypharmacy is the use of 5 or more medications a day. And guess what? Nearly 40% of older adults fall into this category, and many are taking drugs that work against each other. And many are taking drugs for the side effects of drugs that they need or may not need. These include sedatives, antidepressants, antihypertensives, painkillers, anticholinergics. These drugs don't just treat symptoms. They can impair alertness. They can impair balance. They can impair memory and coordination. And when you start mixing these medications, the side effects are compounded. Dizziness, drowsiness, confusion, all leading straight to falls, possible hospitalization, and yes, the gist of this podcast today, a cognitive decline. And there's even a term for this total burden of certain types of medications. It's called the anticholinergic load. A high load is associated with memory loss, shrinkage of your brain, and it's seen on MRI scans, and accelerated dementia progression. A few episodes ago, I talked about curable forms of dementia, and we talked about these drugs. But it's not just the drugs, the medications. It's the interaction between them. And then you have the cumulative damage they can cause over time. So what do you see here? You see a cycle. I call it a vicious cycle. A senior falls. He gets transported to the hospital. He's prescribed new medications. He starts experiencing confusion or delirium. He falls again. The brain continues to decline. It's a downward spiral, one that often goes unnoticed until it's too late. I want to bring this to your attention now. Seniors that fall. Important to look for cognitive decline and polypharmacy. In my own practice, I saw an 80-year-old fall at home, having minor injuries, and was started on painkillers and sleeping pills. And within weeks, her family noticed she started having memory issues, and she was acting oddly. She was diagnosed with vascular dementia 6 months later. So we have to ask ourselves, was the dementia already brewing, or was it accelerated with the medications that were meant to help her? A vicious cycle. How do we break it? Well, let's stop assuming that every symptom needs a pill. The pharma cartel likes the term a pill for an ill, and they will make up a pill so they can an ill so they can give you a pill. We have to shift our mindset from more treatment to smart treatment. Conduct a medication review, ladies and gentlemen, preferably with a pharmacist or a physician trained in deep prescribing. It used to be called the brown bag checkup. You put all your drugs in a brown bag and take them to a properly trained pharmacist. And you have to ask that person, do I still need this drug? Is it treating a side effect of another drug? Are there safer alternatives? Are there natural alternatives? As I said, we have to ask questions. We have to be wellness warriors and become empowered, ready to take charge of our health, getting knowledge and medical insights and self-care tips so you can enhance your own well-being. You have to have a transformation. So a brown bag review, a medication review, really important. Now, how do we promote fall prevention strategies that do not involve pharmaceuticals? Number one on the list is resistance training to improve strength and balance. And here I have already spoken with Dr. William Wong, And he will be talking about sarcopenia and some modified ways to increase strength using weights. He has a doctorate in physiology, ladies and gentlemen. He knows what he's talking about. So we'll talk about resistance training next week. But you can also talk to your trainer at the gym. Okay, but you'll want to hear Dr. Wong's suggestions. Number 2, make sure that your vitamin D levels are between 60 and 90. And take magnesium, both of which are necessary for bone health. And I'll add vitamin K too. And you know what supports our nervous system and keeps it regulated? It's earthing. Another word is called grounding. That is walking on the earth, on the grass, on the beach. And stay hydrated and eat whole foods to support your brain clarity. As we progress in this natural health movement, you'll always hear lifestyle changes trump everything. And that starts with a organic whole food diet and some intermittent fasting. And that intermittent fasting can be from dinner to lunch the next day or a late breakfast to get 12 to 16 hours with nothing in your stomach. And we'll do a podcast on that because they are finding out that as you fast, your intestines will make stem cells, actually make you younger. It's an interesting finding, ladies and gentlemen. And finally, after any unexplained fall, make sure you or your loved one gets screened for cognitive function. Do not wait until the memory loss is obvious. The sooner you catch it, the more that can be done. So to all my listeners, if you or someone you love has fallen recently, don't brush it off. And if their medicine cabinet is overflowing, it's time to ask some serious questions. Falls, dementia, and polypharmacy are not separate issues. They are interconnected. It's a vicious cycle. And recognizing that connection, ladies and gentlemen, could save a life or a mind. So they are my thoughts for today. Stay skeptical. That was easy to say, wasn't it? Stay skeptical, stay curious, and most importantly, stay well. If you like what you hear on Dr. Ron Unfiltered, Uncensored, please, whatever social media you do, give me a positive review. Tell your friends about it. Tell them about this episode. Is it fall bad luck, or is it your brain sending you a warning? Right? Falls, early dementia signs, the dangers of 2 medications. That's what we talked about. We talked about what if a fall was not just a fall, but your brain's way of waving a red flag. And what if the very pills meant to help you are quietly making you worse? So, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for listening and passing this message on to a loved one, even someone over 65. They'll need to hear this. And I would ask you, if you really want to know about exercise and longevity and the paradox there and Dr. Wong's expert advice on sarcopenia, and we'll go a little bit further than that next week since it's after the religious holidays of this week. And we'll talk about a little bit about true harmony, which is harmony of the body, mind, and spirit. That's all to come next week, ladies and gentlemen. So with that, this is Dr. Ron, host of Dr. Ron Unfiltered, Uncensored. Have a blessed week, and we will see you next time.
Hey everybody, Dr. Ron's finished for today. I hope you got some good wisdom for what the man had to say. If it's all about good health, he's the man you got to see. He has a lot more answers for you. So tune in next week when the doctor is in the house. Or when the doctor is in the house. Let the doctor know what's bothering you. when the doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. Doctor is in the house. Let the doctor know what's bothering you. I'm sure he can tell you just what to do. The doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. Let the doctor know what's bothering you when the doctor is in the house. So if you have a pain, call the doctor. If you have a strain, call the doctor. Let the doctor know what's bothering you when the doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. See you next week. See you next week.